County Judge Clay Jenkins is at the top of the emergency management response in Dallas County right here. He reiterated that again today, that the buck sort of essentially stops with him. So instead of declaring a state of emergency today, you'll ask the 75 healthcare workers who may have had contact to not travel, not mix in public. And I guess I'm wondering if this would have even been necessary had not the one nurse traveled to Cleveland and back and kind of started a whole concern about this.
Well, some of it is based on science, and it's a good thing. Like, for instance, you don't want people to get on an airplane where they're on there for 3 or 4 hours and they become symptomatic and sick, and maybe some of their body fluids get on someone else, because that's how Ebola spreads. Ebola doesn't spread from passing someone in the grocery store, but we put those restrictions there as an added precaution because of the public concern about Ebola.
And are they going to sign something and say, yeah, I'll follow the rules? How's that going to work?
Well, this is a directive from the public and from the Texas Commissioner of Public Health. And this is the person, this is the top doctor in the state, this is the person that's over licensure for healthcare professionals. They're all healthcare professionals. So they'll sign and acknowledge that they have that. And these are hometown healthcare heroes. They want to be compliant. These are not people who want to do anything but serve this community.
Got it. And the 48 that have already been in kind of a different stage of monitoring, they're not included in this because the 21 days is almost expired?
The 21 days for them is up on Sunday. And where they have some control orders where appropriate with them as well. The great news about them is they're at the very tail end of their monitoring, and the chance of any of them developing symptoms at this point is very minuscule.
All right, I have some questions about how today played out. The expectation was, I think, that there would be an emergency disaster declaration. Your health director, Zach Thompson, was on here last night and said he wanted it, and he was pushing for it. And I think, well, a few others, Elba Garcia specifically, said she expected to vote for it too. It didn't happen. Why not?
Well, I appreciate the support. It's essentially vesting in me power to declare a form of martial law for an extended period of time. We're working very closely. You're seeing that with Mayor Rawlings and I, but also with Governor Perry and President Obama's team and the CDC. And we're able to get all these things done without that. And your civil liberties are important to me. I don't want to to set aside law to do things that I can get done through agreement.
And I heard you say that, you know, kind of that's not the American way. If I shouldn't be locking you in your home. Essentially, I'm probably taking that not exactly, but I don't need the power to lock you in your home. But you wouldn't have had to do that. I mean, you could have done some of the emergency opportunities and not locked people in their homes, correct?
Sure, and this strikes that balance. We're recognizing and valuing that they are healthcare heroes, and they are part of Dallas County, but it is also keeping them from going to places where the public congregates, where individuals outside their family might be. It also allows them the opportunity, free of charge, to stay at Presbyterian, where their food and their lodging will be provided for the monitoring period. But it's a big burden on them, and I recognize that. They are dealing with, you know, the sword of Damocles kind of hanging over their heads, worried about this Ebola virus, and they're worried about those who are already sick. And I just want to make sure we treat them with compassion and respect, and also protect the public, and we were able to do that today.
You told Calvert on that story that it wasn't a business decision, it was about public safety, but the mayor, you saw that he got up and alluded to a business connection, talked about convention contracts and clauses, you know, for opting out of those contracts. I looked, there are 12 conventions at the K. Bailey Hutchison Convention Center from today through the end of November, the next 6 weeks. That sounds like he was concerned about business, and I know he has your ear. I don't know how many millions of dollars that would be potentially lost, but that didn't come up? You didn't have that conversation with him? You didn't talk about any lost money or any lost conventions or any possibility of business impact?
The governor, the mayor, and I have all been aligned that we do not want to declare a state of emergency. This is not a tornado.
Your health director did.
Well, that may...
And the elected people didn't, but the health director did.
Right. Well, so my health director and I disagreed, and we laid out the evidence before the commissioner's court, and they all agreed with me.
Okay, move on. Part of the problem, I think, is that viewers who are not involved but sit at home and see mistakes being made or what they perceive as mistakes being made. CDC allows an infected person to get on a plane and fly. They lose confidence in the CDC. I think about 3 hours, Calvert, again, tweeted 3.5 hours before Nina Pham left that you said she had already been transferred. And so people wonder about, and that didn't happen, and you're the buck stops here guy. The communication breakdowns seem to be distracting from the public's perception, don't you? They're losing confidence, and I don't think they should, definitely, but they are. And you know these missteps hurt public confidence.
I think where the communication is going to be improved is I've now moved my body to Presbyterian, and I've got Mike Rawlings a desk next to mine, and we've been in the EOC, so the state's public health director and myself and the other principals have all been in the EOC handling the 48 and the things out in the community. CDC's been out at Presbyterian. Those two entities have been out there on their own. I think it's good, since the battle has pretty much moved to Presbyterian, that the command and control go to Presbyterian. Our EOC will still operate, but I've had some really good meetings with my CDC principals today, getting that good open line of communication, because it's one team, one fight, and we're going to stop Ebola right here in Dallas.
And if you had been there, you certainly would have known when Nina Pham was transferred. You're right on the front lines there. Okay, I do want to play again. This is Congressman Michael Burgess' question of the CDC director, and then I want you to kind of respond. Here's the question of the CDC director.
So is the reason that she is having to be removed because the personnel are no longer willing to stay at Presbyterian to take care of her?
Okay. Have you heard any, where does that come from? And is it irresponsible for him to ask that question about Presby personnel refusing to take care of Nina Pham?
The Presby personnel, the ones that are still there, those 75 that are being monitored, all the rest of that family are truly heroic. They are working. I worry about them because they're working so hard and they're going through so much. And I'm talking about the real people on the lines, in the scrubs there. They're not afraid. They're heroes, and they're working.
So you don't know where that came from? No idea.
I mean,
he might have sources and stuff, but if he's speaking irresponsibly, we ought to say it.
I'm not here to say that he or anyone is speaking irresponsibly. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'll just tell you that I'm out there hours a day with the line nurses and with the everyone else out there, and they're coming up to me and telling me that they're in this fight to win it, and it's one team, one fight, and they're dedicated to stopping Ebola here.
All right, and it's one of those things where you say, good luck tomorrow, right? I mean, that's how it is.
That's right.
Good luck tomorrow. All right, Clay Jenkins,
thanks for
coming down. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.